Ever play City Connection? Did you enjoy racing through different cities all over the world, chucking oil cans at police officers and dodging feral cats? This game is a staple in anyone's collection. Now what happens when you mix that game with the Ninja Turtles? You get this game. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Connection. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Connection, a hack of the original NES title, City Connection. But what madman is responsible for this? That's right, he's back, the legendary John Rigg'd.
What?
I'm reviewing a game you hacked. Did you want to say a few words about it?
Hold on. Last time we did a review, you kidnapped my family and held them hostage until I did a review with you. Or do you just not remember?
Okay, I guess John's a little busy, so let's keep going. Where was I? Ah, yes! Ninja Turtles Connection is a hack of the NES game City Connection, done by my friend, or victim, John Rigg'd. The original game was developed and published by Jailco, and then released to players in 1985 for the Nintendo NES. Despite its appearance, this game is not a racing game. Instead, it's a platformer. The objective is simple: race your Honda City through a tour of the world as you paint their roads. All the while you're avoiding police officers, feral cats, and spikes. You're able to pick up oil cans and launch them at the police, causing them to spin out so you can knock them off the screen. In addition to the oil cans, you can jump your Honda over enemies or do a 180 handbrake turnaround. Once you paint all the roads, the level is complete. City Connection in Japan originally had a female as the protagonist, named Clarice, but was switched to a nameless male character in the North American release. But let's talk more about Ninja Turtles Connection. The objective is the same, even racing through a tour of the world like the original game. You control the party wagon as you dodge oncoming attacks from Mousers, Technodrome drill modules, and foot cruisers through 10 levels. It had been quite some time since John made a game before this one, and according to him, he made it just for fun, because he loved City Connection so much as a kid. The label art is also hand-drawn by Joe Fritz to mimic the original label. John even had a contest on Rafflecopter.com where participants could win a free copy of this game. But the contest has been long over by now. Well, that's all I have to say about story and development. So let's dig deeper and pop this son of a bitch in and play it. Ninja Turtles Connection is your simple sprite swap hack. Unfortunately, it feels more like City Connection opposed to Ninja Turtles. Granted, the base game John used was City Connection, but only thing related to the Turtles franchise is the sprites. Like most NES titles, there isn't much of a storyline. In fact, it's a basic arcade style. It drives you to progress from level to level for points, opposed to progressing a storyline. I can't fault John for this, as this was the base game's original programming. To my dismay though, it still lacks the Ninja Turtles charm. The game's premise is simple: drive from platform to platform and paint the road white. At least I think you're painting it. During your adventure, you'll come across Technodrome drill modules and Mousers. You can snag up hubcaps and launch them at the drill modules to make them spin out of control, then speed up and slam them off the screen for extra points. Hubcaps are your primary weapon, but you're given a limited amount. But you can replenish them by picking them up in-game. What makes this game fun is its unique style. It's not a racing game, but a multi-directional side-scrolling platformer. You can go back and forth by doing a 180 handbrake maneuver to avoid enemies. If you can't dodge them, the party wagon has the ability to jump over obstacles. The fun factor has potential, but due to other aspects of the game, it ends up ruining it, which I'll discuss later. Levels are very basic in their design. You're given platforms you must navigate through and jump across so you can paint them white. Platforms come in different lengths and colors, with a backdrop of a famous world location. Even in their most basic forms, they still manage to have flaws in their design. Namely the color palette, which can at times blend into the foreground and hide enemy sprites or even entire platforms, causing a little confusion. As for the environment, there's nothing outside of a new backdrop of a famous world location. And sadly, that's all you get for the environment, just basic backdrops. No change in enemy variants or initial surroundings. You do get a new platform layout and maybe a splash of new colors, but it doesn't immerse you any further than an arcade-style platformer. And I guess it works for this game. What I would like to have seen though were Ninja Turtles related backdrops. Maybe Manhattan, the sewers, and even Dimension X. And you come across enemy sprites to complement the environment. I'm no programmer or hacker, so maybe it's easier imagined than done, so I'm not going to put too much emphasis on this. But it would have been a nice touch for this hack. All of your level enemies have been sprite swapped with a custom one by John Rigg'd to match the TMNT motif. Squad cars have been switched to the Technodrome drill modules, and stray cats are now Baxter's Mousers. Drill modules will be your primary enemies as they frequently and randomly spawn and follow a single direction. They don't have any AI and won't pursue you. Their difficulty comes in the form of abrupt spawn points that catch you off guard, along with overwhelming numbers that can leave you in a pinch. Mousers will be the ones dealing you game overs. They can't be hit with a hubcap and spawn at certain points to put you in a bad spot. You're forced to jump over them or do a 180 handbrake maneuver and move to a different set of platforms. Mousers also have a tendency to spawn behind drill modules so they can sneak up on you. Using quick reflexes, you can jump over them. Unfortunately, that's easier said than done thanks to the controls. This game is difficult, and not in the good challenging way either. Though it's a hack, it still retains its rough original nature. I can't place blame on John, but instead on the programmers of City Connection, where this hack inherits its difficulty from. But why is this game difficult in a bad way? It's due to the unresponsive controls and abrupt enemy spawns. Mousers spawn randomly, and though you may react, the party wagon will either delay its jump or straight up refuse to respond. Most deaths will be a product of this, while others can be attributed to the color palette camouflaging enemies. Graphics at their core are standard NES hack graphics. Sprites aren't as polished as their former selves, but don't lack in the creativity or programming department. The party wagon has the most amount of frames in its animations, even having a 1 or 2 frame animation when it does a 180 handbrake turn. The enemies have very minimal amounts of animation in them. Mousers look like Mousers, and that's really it. Drill modules look similar to their television counterparts, but tend to flicker at random during gameplay. Much like most NES hacks, graphics are good but lack their original polish. The controls will be your worst enemy. This is all because of the unresponsive jump button. You usually have 2 outcomes, a late jump or no jump at all. Yet all other commands are responsive. This is not really a flaw on John's part, as it's a leftover from the original City Connection. Maybe I'm missing a hidden jump mechanic, but for me, this was a game breaker. Your audio experience will be from City Connection, so don't expect the Ninja Turtles theme or anything related to the Turtles when it comes to the music. Sound effects are mediocre and don't overly distract from the gameplay. If I had to rate the audio, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. Though this game is relatively fun with a unique concept, thanks to the original programming from the devs, this game is subpar at most, in my opinion. Can anything be really attributed to John Rigg'd? No, as most of the issues arise from the base game and original programming. Only thing I would like to have seen from John was more Turtles related content, maybe with a variety of enemies and backdrops to give you more of that Turtles feel. If you want to play this game or City Connection, then play it. They're the same game with a different look and name. That's my review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Connection for the NES. Special thanks to the man John himself for coming onto the show and saying hi. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, give me a like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.